Okay, we're back to this Larrivee guitar. It's been leveled. I still have to recrown and polish it. You can see we took quite a bit off this fret here. You can see all the high spots. They just light right up. There were a few spots that needed to be addressed. This was one of the first ones I saw when I eyed the neck. It was really just the upper end of the fingerboard. Okay, so that's been leveled. Now we're going to recrown and polish, and we'll finish up our compensated nut. As you've heard me say so many times before, often re-engineering is sort of part of the game. In this case, we've got this beautiful Tone Pro bridge, which is a really quite ingenious design. I will often wrap the posts in Teflon tape just to tighten up the tooling. And that's what I'm doing on the bass side. That's better. That's taken up that slack. The ground wire is going to go to this lug. So in order to tighten up this post, I didn't use Teflon tape, because it's an insulator. So I used aluminum tape, and this way the ground wire can go to the cavity and do its thing. Just wanted to point that out, a little bit of a different animal here. It's kind of an ingenious design actually to have this triple fastener setup where you've got the female insert and then the male threaded bolt that goes into the body, and then these top lugs, and they basically tighten the bridge down, kind of hold it into place. John was having trouble because the strings feed through this way and there's barely enough room to get at it. It means that you have to pull the bridge off to sort of feed the strings through and wrap them around. It's not the end of the world. I mean, when it comes time to change strings, you just pull your bridge off and feed them in and put it back on. So we'll clean up those tooling marks with some 600 grit. This will take out the lion's share of the marks left by the file. So now John would be able to drop this action down wherever he wants it without getting any extraneous buzzing or dead notes. And this is not something that you got to get done once a year. You basically do it once, do it right, and game over. She's good forever pretty well. Until you actually start to play the guitar so much that you wear your frets out and then you need another fret dress. Lots of real estate on these crowns. It'll be a long time before you got to pull the frets on this one. Put our little foam truss rod cover back in place. What a great idea. And we'll drop this foam pad in there because that is essentially our spring for the neck position pickup. And we'll just zip those screws back into place. Okay, we've fed those strings through. We can just slip this into place now. And here we go. So you got to make sure you get those strings in their perspective notches. It's got that big wide fingerboard, sort of midway between a classical guitar and a steel string. That wider spacing at the nut really makes it feel like a classical guitar. She's behaving now, perfectly in tune. Here's a rundown on the intonation. Now I've laid down sort of a B slow funk kind of vamp with this guitar, and I'm going to play over top. So it sort of goes like this. We'll switch the pickups around in here. This is both pickups.